Hey everyone, Tim Flood here. You'll find my contact information throughout this video because I really do invite your interaction. Please reach out if you'd like to practice what we're droning in on. what we're honing in on in this video. Or if you have any questions or concerns to discuss, any feedback on the content of this video, or how I can make this video more effective. Thanks in advance. For now, I'd like to welcome you to a discussion of the elevator pitch, maximizing a minute. Let's first get this whole conceit of the elevator out of the way. Yeah, for sure. The likelihood that you'll make these pitches and have these interactions entirely on an elevator is slim. Not impossible, but not all that likely. But you will find that you'll have thousands of conversations across your job search and career that are totally random and unexpected, limited by time, and you don't have very much of it, in some ambiguous context that doesn't lend itself to sort of norms and protocols of how to do small talk, with individuals who may or may not have a lot of interest in you. And about those individuals, you never can tell who knows you or how far the impression you make during one of these random conversations will go. Always put your best foot forward, even if you feel like you're skating on thin ice, haven't had enough time to think, or have 10,000 other things on your mind. How to put your best foot forward? Start with the structures I lay out here. And remember that your goal is conversation, equal and amicable interaction with the person or people around you. Think of every thought, every sentence as casting a fishing line, hoping to catch something. When you hook something, that is, when the other person wants to speak, go where the conversation takes you. When you need to amp up the conversation, cast again. Dispense another part of your pitch, another sentence, and see what you catch next. Recognize, too, that one of the best ways to come across as a stellar conversationalist is to listen well while the other person speaks. Use your pitch particulars as you need, in whatever order works best in that situation, but do not rope yourself to reciting your pitches, and always look to interact and make a good impression. Remember that, even when you've practiced and delivered these pitches 10,000 times, that you are not a robot. Modulate your voice to convey personality. Pause to convey that you're not nervous and to leave space for the other person to enter the conversation. Smile to project confidence and spread positivity. And remember that nonverbals and body language convey at least as much, if not more, than the words out of your mouth. Everything in steps and stages. Take your time. Convey your best self. Do keep the energy and interactivity up, but look at these pitches as opportunities to open doors. Maybe for now, maybe for later. Today we'll cover the following pitches: the hello pitch, the you pitch, the work pitch, and the future pitch. We'll very likely also cover the new of the moment pitch, and in each case, I'll give you the structure and an example. The hello pitch involves addressing the reality that just because we exchange hello and how are you, that doesn't mean we all want to talk to each other. The hello pitch looks to measure if the other person really is open for a conversation by including statements of greeting and introduction, typical, content to explain or interact through the immediate situation that you're in, why you are where you are, and then an affirmation, something beyond the typical greeting, which acts to measure if the other person really wants to talk or not. If you get a response, a real response in your hello pitch, continue chatting by pulling from other parts of your other pitches. No response, or a very flat one, remain politely silent and prepare to exit the situation gracefully. Here's an example. Hey, good morning. I'm Tim. I'm heading up to Falmore Global. Traffic today sure was crazy. At every pause, check to see if the other person wants into the conversation. If that person has something to say, then let them in. If they don't, chill and exit gracefully. The next pitch to have in your arsenal is the U pitch. The U pitch involves statements of some summary of where you are, what you're about right now. Some near-term context, whether that context comes from the recent past or from the current situation that you're in, and then something memorable about you. Here's an example. I'm interviewing for a marketing role, but I'm especially excited about how quickly Falmore Global is expanding. I've always had a strong focus on the bottom line, but the opportunity to get into strategy and to also focus on operation and impact, no kidding, that's almost thrilling to me. Let the energy out. Don't rush through the words, and definitely avoid being monotonous or sounding rehearsed. The work pitch focuses on tactical, practical, on-the-ground descriptions of your work experience and your work aspirations. Don't get bogged down in the long, overly detailed resume walk unless someone asks you for one. Stay high level and focus more on the future than on the past. As ever, you're looking for chances to interact and start a conversation. To get there, include statements about where you are professionally, what you hope to do next, whether you're looking to accelerate along your current career path, or if you're a career switcher looking to do something new. Also articulate your near-term goals, motivations, or other differentiators, something, again, that people will remember particularly about you. Here's an example. I was a philosophy undergrad, and I worked as a telemarketer for a big bank. That combination of experiences made me really understand how to message effectively to people, especially customers who initially had little to no interest in the product. Marketing became my passion, and the way marketing has had to evolve at almost light speed these days to keep up with technology, impacting nearly every aspect of a successful business, all that makes me really want to work with smaller, more nimble companies moving ahead. Speaking of moving ahead, the future pitch focuses on less practical, less tangible, but still very real aspects of your career goals. Maybe include a statement of your values if that's appropriate. Certainly your big, hairy, audacious life goals. The things that motivate you toward or about those goals. What change or impact you hope to have on the world. Where you see yourself in 20 years, and how that day is different from this day here. Here's an example. Helping any startup meet their potential is great, and I really want to focus on innovations that affect global resource allocation. Sure, I wouldn't mind a high equity stake in an 11-figure IPO, but I want to help investors underscore that profitability can come from the less sexy stuff too. Reliable power grids, safe and sturdy roads and bridges, access to clean water and abundant broadband. That we really can do well by doing good. Let's remember too what we learned from Chimamanda Adichie in The Danger of a Single Story Talk. People will know you the most from what you take the time to tell them. The of-the-moment pitch has no specific structure, but conveys clearly, confidently, and concisely whatever point or points you think would best suit you in the conversation. Sometimes these single statements, these single stories, are to compensate or to clarify for something that you said earlier. Other times, these single statements or single stories work to certainly inject and kind of get on the record important aspects that you've not had a chance to get onto the record yet. I'm going to give you some examples, and I want you to note that these examples do not flow together. Each one-liner represents a single story, part of a much larger story that you would then build, might have tried to already build, or maybe have no time to build, and still, coolly and calmly, want to get the single story out there. Again, these do not follow consecutively. These are just several examples. I know I sound nervous, but that's because I really am very excited about this opportunity. I could go on all day with this star story. What I really want you to know is I am a better listener as a result of my early refusal to ask for help. You're looking for someone who works well under pressure. I spent 5 years, 8 to 10 hours a day, with 25 high-energy elementary school kids who swore they couldn't be away from technology for more than 5 minutes. And still, they all learned multiplication and division from me. Every single one. I'm here to get my MBA because I was stalled in my career before. I don't know exactly what I want to do going forward, but I know that I thrive when faced with really complicated problems. You asked me before about my greatest failure. I didn't answer fully. My greatest failure involves missing a series of deadlines that cost the company hundreds of thousands of dollars. But my manager's faith in me and her ability to both scold and educate me without tearing me down showed me people management skills that I'll aspire to across my career. Okay, here's my one-liner. My of-the-moment pitch. Thank you for your time, because we are out of it. Remember to practice a lot, but don't lose your personality along the way. Have these sentences across these pitches prepped and ready to go, but also be ready to go in whatever direction the conversation goes. Please also feel free to reach out to me in real life and real time, anytime, for any reason, and let's talk more. Special thanks to TriadStudios.co for their great introduction for this video series, and I hope you all have a great day.